Alright, hey, we're here. We've got an Arabia Huns war again between LeBlanc and Raiden, aka Hassan. This should be a really good one. For those of you who saw the one yesterday, or if you're watching on YouTube, probably a few days ago, I don't know, you would have seen the massive, awesome feudal war that LeBlanc and Hassan had, which was actually really awesome and a lot of fun to watch. So I'm just going to mute things here and shut these guys up while we have a little chat. Yeah, up to the sort of, wow, very, very centre of the map is LeBlanc in blue playing as the Huns. Over to the sort of southwest, we've got Hassan playing as the Huns as well. But, man, look at this. LeBlanc is so far from the edge of the map here. This is a really weird TC placement. He is so open to raiding. And for him, I think that's probably not so good, as Hassan is, I think, a little bit more of an experienced player, a little bit more on form recently. So for LeBlanc in this situation, certainly not a nice map at all. This is so horrible for him. No tree cover at all towards the back here. But he has got quite a close gold, so I suppose that is some saving grace. However, I think these two guys most likely going to go with scouts in the feudal age, then into archers, and then we'll see what happens from there. Hassan, really nice back gold here actually as well, which is really good for him. He'll be able to wall that left side really easily and keep his villagers really safe back here. If he just does a little wall across from this lake towards his TC, that would be really nice for him. But anyway, as I was saying just before this game started, I'd really love to set up a little tournament, maybe just a weekend sort of tournament, and do a Turbo Arabia sort of settings tournament style. That would be really cool. For those of you who saw the Hassan versus Ra games, again, Hassan and Ra, it's always the same players these days. Whoever saw those games anyway on the Turbo Arabia that me and Barbecue commentated on, oh, it was just so awesome. Like, obviously, the feudal age in 5 minutes, night rushing by 10. It's just so much faster and it's really high paced, really fun sort of to watch. And obviously on Arabia as well, it is one of the faster maps out there. Maybe random mirror civs on Turbo Arabia would be really cool, and it would be a lot of fun, I think, for a weekend tournament. So I might make a post about that on AOC Zone after this game. If anyone wants to find that post and show some support on there, that'd be awesome, as it might get a few people in the community interested in that little idea. But either way, Hassan now just about to take his second boar in. I don't know, I've not really been watching the chat here on the left. I don't know if LeBlanc said anything about his absolutely disgusting, vile map, but maybe he has, I don't know. You just see by this wood lumber camp placement here, it's just so horrible. Obviously these lakes, not really that nice. This wood on here on the corner, it's not ideal placement, but he had no other choice. I mean, he could have put a lumber camp over here, but that's probably even worse, to be fair. There's not so many trees there, it's on a hill, it's like in an awkward position. And one thing is for sure though, these guys being so close together, we will have a very, very fast rush time, a much closer placement for sure. And that's actually really nice, because it should give us a bit more of an interesting game. With any luck, we'll see a prolonged feudal war, because that is always a lot of fun. One thing that I really love to see is players who go scouts but bring some spearmen forward with it. That's a lot of fun, because it's a really good counter to other scouts, but also gives your scouts a good chance to raid at the same time. Dry Arabia, yeah. Someone said in the chat there you should play Dry Arabia. I guess that means obviously they won't have any little lakes around. I find the lakes in Arabia really annoying, just horrible, because they just make it a lot more difficult to wall as well. Not that I really like walling, I condone walling to the highest degree. But never mind that. Hassan seems to be off to a reasonable start here. They're saying that they are both on 21 population, and they're going to click up on 22 for a fast rush time. Hassan slightly further behind, in fact just getting his loom now and going up at 21. I actually thought then that LeBlanc was on 22, but no, they're both going up on 21 here. I don't think either of them took any deer. Have a look at their deer patches, they are quite far away. Hassan's right over here on the left side, and LeBlanc, he can't even find his deers, he's just asking where they are right now, and in fact I don't think they exist. Oh dear indeed. I've got no idea actually. That's really weird. He doesn't seem to have them. Oh, they're his deers. His deers are all the way over here. It's just too far away. It's ridiculous. I feel really bad for him. Anyway, he's putting up a barracks now at the front. Most likely we will see a scout rush. Funny stuff. I wonder if he's going to try and block that. Okay. Hasan was just toying around with his scout there. I thought he might have tried to block him in. I wish that had actually worked. That's hilarious if it would have done. Hasan building his barracks on the front now. Just look how close. It's almost in the same screen. If we just nudge it down slightly. Nah, I can't do it. You could almost see both barracks on the same sort of screen here. So they are very close together, which makes it a lot more fun. Either way, LeBlanc up slightly further ahead and putting up his stable now. Hasan the same. And scout rushing is so much fun to watch. Having good micro with your scouts, obviously really important. But interestingly enough, neither of them actually getting a lot of farms up yet. We're only seeing 2 farms from Hasan at the moment. Only one, and second one just going down for LeBlanc here. So interestingly enough, considering they're doing scout rushing, neither of them have any deer. And I don't know, I'm not sure about that decision. I mean, scouts are alright if you've got really good micro for it, but a couple of spearmen can head them off from important areas. And in this situation, I actually think without the deer here, without actually seeding all these farms earlier, perhaps going straight to archers might have been a better idea. And perhaps putting maybe 1 spearman or 2 spearmen on this gold pile. I don't know. Obviously, it's up to these guys how they're going to play it, but I just think quite a big lack of food at the moment. And LeBlanc, he's going to really struggle to keep scout cavalry production going and villager production at the same time. He's cutting it very, very fine. In fact, he's not going to be able to make another scout now. So he's going to go idle, and he doesn't have the wood to actually put up an archery range either, because he's actually just seeded all these farms as he had no deer. I wonder if Hasan's in the same position actually. Yeah, I think his TC or his stable is going to go idle right now. And interestingly enough, he's actually seeded less farms here as well, I think. Let's have a quick look, real quick. He's got 9 farmers compared to LeBlanc's 10, so he's a little bit further. 6 foragers as well, and 5 for Hasan. So LeBlanc has got more food income at this moment in time. I think that was right anyway. Let me have a quick look. It's 11 and 6 for LeBlanc. 10 and 5, yeah, for Hasan. So he's a little bit less in terms of food income. And that could mean for LeBlanc, actually, that he actually ends up with a less idle TC time, which would be really nice. I did actually do mute a second ago. I'll do it again. It didn't seem to work because it's doing it in the messenger chat. I don't know how to change that, but mute doesn't seem to work for some odd reason. LeBlanc then has got a little advantage here. No upgrades on these scouts, but he has got the numbers to push Hasan back, picking 1 scout right there. And LeBlanc does have 1 scout that is on 11 HP, but that's about it. All of those guys on full HP. And this is what I was saying a moment ago about Hasan not really having so much food income. He's actually only just adding in another scout now, and LeBlanc has got a good 8 scouts on his way over to Hasan's base. 1 spearman though could throw a bit of a spanner in the works. LeBlanc going straight back. He could turn around right now and get a hill advantage. Oh, Hasan retreating at just the right time, and I actually thought he was going to walk straight into that. It would have almost been a trap, as LeBlanc would have been able to turn straight around, take advantage of that hill there. But Hasan has walled up this back side of his base, and as I said right at the start of this game, a wall here and a slight wall here would be, it's all he needs. LeBlanc's not going to get through there without taking damage from his TC. Nicely done focusing down that spearman there. Rogue spearman getting taken down, looking to find a villager. But LeBlanc going to retreat away, and really nice micro, really good at keeping his eye on those scouts and just doing as much damage as he can with them, whilst just getting in there, hitting, running. Bloodlines is done for both of them actually. That's interesting, because that could indicate that we'll see some more scouts being added in. But archers are on the way, so these spearmen from Hasan are going to get focused down very quickly. But saying that, LeBlanc in full retreat, and he has lost a lot of health on these scout cavalries. In fact, I'd say that Hasan is looking a lot better in terms of actually health on these scouts. LeBlanc losing 2 right there, but he does still have that score lead. And I'll be interested at this stage to see if... Wow, interesting. I was actually going to say, I thought LeBlanc would have less idle TC time. He had a lot more food income. earlier on there. But in actual fact, he is a good 3 villagers behind at the moment, and he hasn't lost anything to Hasan. So, in terms of villager production, idle TC time, LeBlanc is falling behind slightly, but that could just be because he has got wheelbarrow. I'm not sure if Hasan has wheelbarrow at the moment, and that could be the reason why LeBlanc's fallen behind in terms of villager count here. But either way, Hasan coming in now, and he has got a much larger population of scouts, but archers behind for LeBlanc will push him away. And he's going to have to get fletching fairly soon. That blacksmith is up, and he's actually walled those villagers in. Nice idea to do that there. Going to keep them very safe from any scout raiding. But as I said at the start as well, here's wood is just so horrible on this map. It is absolutely really bad. So LeBlanc walling himself in a little bit here. You know, he's putting up a tower on this gold as well. He's getting a little bit defensive here, and we could see quite a prolonged game. I'll be interested to see if Hasan decides to stay feudal, because LeBlanc about to click up to castle now, and he's going to just stay a little bit more defensive. And I wonder if Hasan's going to realise that, you know, this is quite defensive play. I wonder if he's going to go with the castle age, because if he does, then he might counter that with a castle age of his own, or step up his military production and try and do what damage to LeBlanc's eco where he can. So +1 attack is done for Hasan right now on those archers. LeBlanc is actually going to wait, because that fletching upgrade does cost 100 food, and that is really going to, of course, slow his castle time down if he does go for it. LeBlanc then definitely, well, I'm pretty sure at this stage going to have wheelbarrow done. And raiding now, Hasan going to start his raiding, quite literally. There's the fletching upgrade coming in for LeBlanc, and he's going to try and defend with these archers. Got to be careful though, because there's +1 defense for Hasan here as well on his, and LeBlanc will lose those archers very quickly if he's not careful. Good idea to evacuate on this right side though. Scouts coming in for Hasan there and not finding anything, but as I say, LeBlanc's got to be careful. These archers from Hasan are more heavily upgraded, as well as these scouts. He does have extra +1 defense there, and LeBlanc's got to be very careful not to run into those spearmen as well. Going to get very, very close. Almost losing that scout cavalry there. Going to loop around, try and pick off some archers here, but he will get focused down pretty quickly, I feel, if he does attack this. And probably going to lose these scouts very quickly indeed, because he actually doesn't have that much health on them at all, and Hasan there with way more archers, getting a good trade indeed. Hasan's in, right into LeBlanc's economy. LeBlanc taking a brisk here, going up to the castle age, but he is on 93, 94, almost 95%, and he will get that crossbow upgrade very quickly, potentially able to turn tides around. Hasan's still feudal. He is going to go up to castle in just a moment, but obviously the risk for LeBlanc here, is it going to pay off? He needs to make a push quickly now. Bodkin arrow coming in for that extra range and attack, and crossbow is on 80%. It's a very fast upgrade, so LeBlanc going to take full advantage of that and push straight out again on this, well, through the centre of the map, I suppose. So, for Hasan here, he's got two options, I guess. He could try and counter this by hitting LeBlanc's eco, or he can bring his units back and defend at home. Interestingly enough, Hasan's taking quite a lot of stone here, and I think he actually, well, he either put up a tower, which I'll check in just a moment, because Hasan is raiding here. We've got a bit of action going on at both ends of the court. Hasan did put up a tower over here, so he has got to take some stone now, so he can get up a second TC once he reaches castle. Interestingly enough though, bad army micro, really bad army micro on this front side of LeBlanc's base. LeBlanc able to pick those archers off so easily, and now the cavalry archers coming in as well, as LeBlanc does some damage to Hasan's eco. A second tower on that wood line for him, and he's got to get really defensive here, because he's only 60% up to castle at this stage. And LeBlanc could just sit, chill out at the bottom of this watchtower, not a problem at all. But that was really nasty for Hasan here. He's setting his gather point over here, and those archers getting cut down as they sort of move into position. LeBlanc having a field day with those crossbows. Of course, Hasan's archers are outranged, so for LeBlanc here, he can just take pot shots at them, no problem at all. Coming in behind this wood, really nice for LeBlanc indeed. May get a villager out of this, but a little bit inaccurate. He will want to get Thumb Ring fairly soon there, so we can actually have a little bit more accuracy on these units, and of course faster firing speed. But the problem for Hasan here is that LeBlanc already has a much larger military. He's got 30 military units on the field, whereas Hasan is only on 13. And interestingly enough, he's putting up a university straight away here. He's got quite a lot of resources in the bank, so perhaps we'll see a very early ballistics from him. I don't know if that's really going to help him out that much, but we'll see what happens. I mean, he's switching straight into cavalry archers here. He won't be upgrading... well, sorry, he has upgraded crossbow, but he won't be continuing production of crossbow. Obviously, cavalry archer is much more worthwhile as a Hun player. But Hasan forced to build a lot of towers here, which is never ever a good sign. He is forcing LeBlanc to sit under his towers, of course, but LeBlanc forcing Hasan to build these towers, not ideal. He is wasting a lot of time and resources on them. But at the same time, he's taking out LeBlanc's military quite quickly. LeBlanc losing quite a few cavalry archers there for absolutely nothing, and the university for Hasan is up. He doesn't actually have the resources to get ballistics now, but his eco looking very messy. All these villagers inside of this TC, unable to gather any resource. But interestingly enough, Hasan has got the score lead by a good 200 points. His raiding seems to be reasonably effective back here, taking a couple of villagers out and cavalry archers as well, with these crossbows right at the back. So good stuff by LeBlanc, good stuff by Hasan as well. Actually, it's looking fairly even, but I'd say Hasan a little bit further behind at the moment. Just look at this gold here. That's an absolute mess of villagers. Perhaps retasking them to the wrong place because his villagers were inside of that TC just a moment ago. The one thing that Hasan's got to be a little bit concerned about now is LeBlanc's cavalry archers. If he gets up enough of a mass of these guys, he's going to do a lot of damage. And you can see he's not even going for Hasan's cavalry archers here. He's literally just picking off those villagers where he can. Also getting chased down back here. And I'm surprised, I'm really surprised, that LeBlanc hasn't taken the score lead again. I'm almost shocked at that, to be honest with you. He's got a lot of advantages here in terms of economy. And he has got a second TC up as well. Hasan's still only on the 1 right now, adding in his 4th archery range at last. But LeBlanc looking pretty good in terms of numbers. He's got 4 archery ranges up. He has been up on 4 for a while, and he's keeping those cavalry archers coming out. So he is looking really nice in this at this moment in time. I just hope that Hasan doesn't rage quit if he loses this. But certainly, I love watching these guys play. They are very close together in terms of skill, I feel. And it makes it even more enjoyable, I guess. Oh dear. Hang on a second. I broke my pen. Playing around with this pen as I cast, and I just like accidentally broke it. There we go. Let me just screw the top back on there. Never mind that. I put that out of arm's reach. There we go. Alright, so Hasan trying to get some raiding done, but he's forced into a very, very defensive position here. We have again look at their military. We can see that LeBlanc's got 38 military units out now, compared to the 13 of Hasan. He's even got the villager lead as well, as he has had that second TC up for a while. And if we have a look at the military tab, Hasan is on 15 cavalry archers compared to LeBlanc's 30. We could see a very quick GG from Hasan here. If LeBlanc pushes forward and starts to take out the rest of Hasan's eco. Another raid coming in at the south here, as Hasan's remaining cavalry archers on the front taking quite a bit of punishment from LeBlanc. Cavalry archers so good at both raiding and just fighting straight up. Really, really powerful unit, especially for the Huns. Looks like Hasan's going to get a slight advantage though. But reinforcements coming in for LeBlanc, and the siege workshop does go up, so we will see a mangonel coming out in just a moment's time. Well, I imagine we'll see a mangonel after LeBlanc's done another round of cavalry archers, forced into quite a defensive position from Hasan's attack on the front. But Hasan going to come in from behind now. He's still, sorry, not Hasan, LeBlanc even coming in from behind. He should be able to clear this up, but he's still hitting Hasan's eco. LeBlanc is still hitting his eco, and he's doing a really good job of it. He has retaken the score lead, and there's the mangonel just starting creation now. Surprisingly, wow, LeBlanc lost a lot of cavalry archers there to those towers, and it seems like these towers are almost paying off for Hasan now. The one thing that does concern me a lot for Hasan is that once that main gold of his actually runs out, he is going to be in a very nasty position. His other golds are way out on the front, right in no man's land almost. and LeBlanc's going to try and take control of those where he can. I mean, he does still have a military advantage, I feel. But there is a TC going up right on the front here. Interesting location for that, because Hasan probably not going to really see it over there. It's kind of way out of his vision, and I doubt he's really going to be heading over this way. So very interesting that LeBlanc's putting up his TC there. Hopefully that's going to be effective for him. He's not covering any gold, but any other position here probably would be a bit too far out, a little bit too risky. Gonna get that one up on the front. Hasan's still only on the 1 TC. I'm very surprised he's retaken the score lead. Perhaps now getting slightly further ahead in terms of military. Let's have a quick look. 24 cavalry archers for Hasan, 22 for LeBlanc. But LeBlanc does have a couple of mangonels now. He will be able to defend quite effectively with them, and it is only a matter of time really until his eco gets a little bit further ahead with this extra TC over here and now down here as well. Fighting uphill, but it doesn't really matter. LeBlanc has got the army numbers he needs, but perhaps taking a little bit more losses than necessary. Doesn't look like he actually has ballistics at the moment, so Hasan going to get a big advantage there, and he's going to pick a lot of villages off here in LeBlanc's economy as well. Really nicely played by Hasan. Good micromanagement, getting in there, making full use of these cavalry archers, and now he's going to want to get out because LeBlanc is coming back for more. But really close game at this stage, I feel. It's been very, very back and forth indeed. Hasan, though, done so much damage to LeBlanc's eco in this last few minutes that he might really close the gap here. Let's have a quick look at their kills to loss ratio. Hasan so far killing way more units. He's actually killed 100 units compared to LeBlanc's 74, and that is actually quite a substantial difference. There's a lot of gold been invested in these cavalry archers, so for these guys to go down, it's kind of a big deal. And interestingly enough, LeBlanc is only 6 villages ahead of Hasan now. I feel like Hasan's raiding has done a lot of damage to LeBlanc's eco, and LeBlanc's done very well to sort of defend for this long, considering he has been building so much eco. Oh wow! Look at that TC placement! That just never happens. Nobody does that. That is just nuts. LeBlanc needs to get inside of that TC there, kill off a few villagers. Look at that. They're actually directly next to each other. That is crazy. That is just too crazy. I don't know if Hasan knew that TC was there, and that's why he sent so many villagers out. But oh man. Might see a bit of a TC wall there as LeBlanc pushes in on the north side of the map with those 3 mangonels, a couple of villages behind as well to repair them up. LeBlanc is taking some damage to his eco from Hasan's raiding here, and who said that Hun Wars couldn't be fun? This TC going to go down very quickly from Hasan's fire here. Really well played. I only hope that that TC wasn't an accident. I really hope that was actually intentional, because LeBlanc's going to lose this TC now. And that was so well played. Ah, that was so good. Oh, that was so good. It's like, yeah, it's like the Persian douche of Hun Wars, only that was really effective. At this stage, you know, LeBlanc has got a score lead by about 20 points. It is so close. I'm not sure what's happening though. We've got a little bit of a pause here. There we go, they unpause. Thankfully that wasn't too long, but jeez, that was so good. LeBlanc pushing in on the front though, starting to take down these archery ranges. That's really going to cut down on Hasan's military production, but Hasan getting so many villagers from LeBlanc here. He's doing such a good job of raiding. But LeBlanc still has a numbers advantage. He needs to bring these units in, actually. He needs to push forward as well. He's got these 3 mangonels here. Could be doing a lot more with those. But man, he's going to lose this TC. And Hasan's going to gain, pardon me, going to gain that gold there. Really nicely played indeed. And, you know, at this stage, I really couldn't call which way this game is going to go. It is very close, even so, but Hasan's raiding does seem to be a little bit more effective. He does seem to be all over the map at this stage, and LeBlanc has a lot of villagers gathered inside of these TCs. But, you know, as I said at the very start of this game, he had a very unlucky starting position. This is just so open, and that is so abusable by Hasan here, and it shows in his raiding at this stage already. But LeBlanc now switching to Elite Skirmisher, really nicely done. Oh man! I missed that, but Hasan coming in from behind here, taking out all of those mangonels, really nicely done. He's got a big score lead now, just in that little engagement. That was huge. LeBlanc got nothing for it, and now he's coming in from the back once again over on this right side. LeBlanc's economy, it's so fragmented. It's up in the north, it's over in the east, it's down in the south, and it's just all over the place. For him, it's so hard to defend when it's this fragmented, and Hasan now has taken quite a big score lead because of that. He's got a second and third TC up, and I can't get over that TC placement. That was just so awesome. Is he going to do it again? I think he might do it again, you know. Is he? What's he playing at? He's got enough resources for another TC. He is going to do it. But I don't know. He's put it just out of range. This is really fun. This is really fun. He needs to get a mangonel over there. He's got actually a mangonel on the field somewhere. But he's going to put up another TC just in range of this one. He's like Persian douching LeBlanc all day long. Get inside there and take that TC out. No problem at all. And that is so cheap yet so good. Or not. Or they could just chop wood in harmony. You know, have a little bit of peace for once. But man, he's done it again, and that's just hilarious. Hasan then did have a massive stockpile of wood just a moment ago. He must have sold a load at the market. And he's actually taken the population lead here as well. Going to get a lot of villagers from LeBlanc here. LeBlanc needs to get inside of that TC, and just had a castle go up on this right hand side to protect his eco. He's not giving it up just yet. Certainly not going to be the case. Let's check the numbers of cavalry archers. LeBlanc down to 16 cavalry archers, but he has got 12 elite skirmishers on the field. Hasan, on the other hand, 39 cavalry archers and this mangonel. This could be the Wonder Mangonel. This could be Mangi version 2, Mangi Mark 2 even. And if he gets a big shot with this, this could completely turn this battle around. Hasan hugging this hill, just daring LeBlanc to come up, because if he does, he's going to take a huge amount of damage from that mangonel there. Let me have a quick look. Ah, yeah, interesting. I just looked at the clock and it has changed, so that I'm very close to the host time. I think that could be to do with the pause, though I'm not sure. Let's have a look what's going on here. Oh, man! He's being so lame. He's even attacking this TC with his villagers. I don't know why. I mean, he could have just stuck inside of his own TC. But why not, eh? Just bring them all in. This TC going to go down. LeBlanc losing another chunk of his economy. And Hasan just probably laughing his ass off right now. That TC going to fall. Really, really fun game. And as I said earlier, who said that Huns couldn't be fun? LeBlanc got a castle drop on this TC on the front, and this is why this game has just been so close and so back and forth, because this gold in the centre is so exposed to both of them. And oh man, what a douche move. Hasan, king of douching today, putting up a stone wall around this gold pile just to prevent LeBlanc from getting it. He will take down this TC, but it's going to be a while before he can get that gold back. Really, really nice play by Hasan here. I know it's kind of really lame of him to do this, but it is really, really clever at the same time. He's all over the place. He's got a good 800 score lead. He's trying to raid LeBlanc's eco where he can, starting to mangonel down this TC. As I said before, hugging this hill, waiting, daring LeBlanc to push into him. That mangonel is going to do a lot of damage there, as these cavalry archers may take a big hit though. If LeBlanc micros this nicely, he could do some big damage. Let's just watch Fog of War on for a little bit. A lot of elite skirmishers pushing in, but another mangonel from Hasan. That's going to be huge if he hits it. A couple of skirms going down there, not bad at all. And we're going to watch Hasan's POV as he holds this hill. Pro hill hugging strats right here. A million cavalry archers in the mix and a couple of mangonels as well. Really nice position to hold as Hasan gets to 1,000 points in the lead. Population wise, they are still very close together though. But I feel like Hasan's economy now coming on in leaps and bounds, much better off at this stage. But LeBlanc coming around on the right with some more cavalry archers. And if Hasan doesn't respond quickly enough, he's going to lose a lot of villagers here as these cavalry archers start to free fire. Only one goes down. Interesting. Interesting that there'd be so few. LeBlanc switching into knights by the looks of things. Not even knights, actually, light cavalry. He's got a huge lack of gold at this moment in time. Even taking the gold right here over on the left. Really interesting that he'd do that, but very well aware of the map, which is nice. But yeah, switching into light cavalry here, and these light cavs gonna start to take down these mangonels if he can aim at them. Nice one down here by Hasan. Huge damage to these cavalry archers from LeBlanc. Just look at that. But once again, LeBlanc going to be able to hit this eco area down here. But Raiden, Hasan pushing in again at the front. It's very fragmented. It's all over the place. Just waiting for these light cavalry to come out. They're going to be a nice little meat shield as well, actually. But interesting that LeBlanc's gone over this side over here to take this gold. And the score's getting very close once again. I don't think we're going to be out of the Castle Age this game for quite some time. Although saying that, Hasan might just put the cherry on the cake here, because he is going up to the Imperial Age now. He is on 25% of the way up, and once he gets to Imperial and that heavy cavalry archer upgrade comes in, it's going to be pretty nasty for LeBlanc. Hey, Hasan does have a castle up here as well, so Treb's going to come out there. And as I said before, a huge gold deficit for LeBlanc at this stage in time. He's forced to build trash, which is really not ideal for him. And it looks like Hasan is starting to get a very big score lead here. But looking to do some raiding with these light cavs. Oh, there's a hole in the wall. LeBlanc going to get in there. And okay, Hasan smells a fish. He knows something's up. And he's going to shut down this gold on the left as well. He is all over the place. Map control, really good from Hasan here. But taking quite a big loss at the back. Losing these villagers. And a big fight on the front once again. Mangonel's in the fray. LeBlanc probably wishing he had a few more light cavalry over here now to take these Mangonels out. Going to be doing a little bit of damage there. Distracting them at least somewhat. LeBlanc taking a score lead again. Oh man, I thought he was so down and out. But LeBlanc's taken the score lead by about 1 point before Hasan retook it. But Hasan now, I think, going to really put the finishing blow on this game in just a moment's time. Because Imperial Age is about done. There's 100% on that. And he is going to start to push it right back, I feel. Got to be careful though. Hasan, what are you doing? Don't lose your mangonels like that. The mangonel's going to go down. And Hasan might just have to retreat here because there's a lot of elite skirmishers chasing him down. The score is still going back and forth so quickly here. But surely Hasan's getting a trebuchet out now from this castle to start dealing with LeBlanc's castle over on this hill. Interesting that Hasan has fallen back like this. Of course, going up to the Imperial Age, it does cost quite a lot, and I think LeBlanc going to get very aggressive here. He's going to stay in the Castle Age. He's basically all in. He can't get enough gold to really go up at this stage. So he's going to put a castle on this hill. He's going to push down into this area of Hasan's base and try and just push him away from these resources. Plenty of light cavalry coming out, and you know, if you can keep that production up, he might just be able to keep himself in this game. Even with Hasan being in the Imperial Age. Look at this eco back here. It's just, this is the best game I have seen in a long time. It's just so good. One thing that LeBlanc really needs now though, he really needs some more military production buildings. He's only got 4 stables and 3 archery ranges. He needs to get that military production up a little bit. But Hasan switching into knights now, a really good choice for him to make actually. Good counter to elite skirmishers. A really good counter to that. And also light cavalry going to be taken out pretty quickly by knights also. Castle down for LeBlanc over here. LeBlanc going to try and take down those trebs where he can. But yeah, really nice stuff from him. I really think though Hasan with Cavalier now probably going to turn this quite quickly around. Obviously, even attacking uphill, he's hardly taking any damage on that Cavalier. It's a really strong unit to counter what LeBlanc is doing. And LeBlanc finally adding in some extra military production buildings. And as I said, I think he's going to be locked into the Castle Age here. He can't afford to go up because if he spends those resources on upgrading to Imperial, he's going to fall behind so far in military that he's not going to get himself back into it. He's got to do the damage now before Hasan gets all of the upgrades that he gets and puts himself into a huge advantage. So huge amount of barracks going down. Pikeman is done for LeBlanc now. Let's just check his blacksmith. He is researching scale mail, so he will get +1 attack in just a moment. +1 defense. +2 attack is done. Obviously that's affecting the light cavalry as well, and even now LeBlanc is raiding so effectively. Hasan looking to raid where he can, but not being so effective at the moment. And pikes, useful. Pike and skirmisher going to be at least somewhat effective against cavalier and cavalry archers. Of course they are counter units to each other in a sense. Cavalier will counter the skirms, and the cavalry archers will counter the pikes. But if LeBlanc throws in enough light cavalry as well in there, he could really turn it around. It's just not looking that likely. However, the scores are still so close. And as he gets in there with his pikemen, he's going to push Hasan back once again. I don't think Hasan is going to be able to afford Paladin though. He is researching light cavalry now. He could go up to Hussar fairly soon. But man, what a game. What an absolute beast of a game. Hasan looking to get in here on the right side, but LeBlanc's castle doing a great job of defending his eco here. Though Hasan might get to this wood back here as well, which is not going to be good for him. But LeBlanc pushing forwards on the front, pushing down Hasan's trebs. Really nice castle position here for LeBlanc. It is so good. But Hasan now raiding this economy, and LeBlanc has very little to stop him. He can garrison inside of his TCs, but it's not going to be enough. He needs a castle over there, really. And look at this on the front. LeBlanc with so many military units here. I'm worried about Hasan's ability to push this back. LeBlanc getting in there. Light cavalry going to get so much raiding done. Meanwhile, he is losing a lot of eco back here to these cavaliers. But population-wise, it's 164 to 161. Take that back, it's 160 to 160, may as well be. And eco raiding for the two of them. Hasan is losing, LeBlanc losing a lot of villagers to this cavalier up here. Way too many. And again, to these cavalry archers back here, but at the same time, LeBlanc is still pushing forwards. However, losing a lot of units here. And I don't know, LeBlanc's army suddenly seems to be very non-existent. 11 cavalry units, 12 cavalry units, 7 ranged and 7 infantry, compared to Hasan's, well, 8 cavalry archers and 4 cavalry. It's not a lot, but I think Hasan may be at a slight advantage here. I don't know. He is Imperial, he does have the better units, he also has a little bit more control over these golds. He will take this castle spot and put this, take this gold over here. And of course LeBlanc really has no answer to Hasan's castles, to be honest. He doesn't have the ability to make trebuchets now. He's, as I said, locked really into the castle age. But he has got quite a bit of gold still. I don't know, he's lacking the food at this moment in time. But we could see some gold units coming out. Perhaps we could see some rams from him. But going to be quite ineffective, I feel. But you never know. I mean, he could start adding some rams in. It would at least absorb some fire from these cavalry archers and the elite skirms. But look at this. Hasan's still raiding this eco like crazy. Sending some villagers up to the right side. LeBlanc putting another TC on the front here. Building under this castle. He needs to keep that castle alive. That is so crucial. But focusing down on that trebuchet. The problem, as I said before, for LeBlanc here is he will be fighting under the fire of Hasan's castles. Making it very, very difficult for him. But getting involved with the light cavalry here, it looks like Hasan actually has less upgrades than LeBlanc in this situation. And LeBlanc gonna get that treb down, castle will remain up and it will protect his eco, but look how close they are. I don't know whose farms are which. I mean, there's a farm there from Hasan and next to it is a farm from LeBlanc. Communal farming at its finest. And Hasan now starting to build up on this right hand side. LeBlanc actually going up to the Imperial Age. I'm actually very surprised that he's managed to do that. He has got the gold. He must have been heavily utilizing the market there. And once he does go Imperial, he will be able to upgrade to the Halberdier, and he will be able to upgrade Hussar if he has the gold as well. Which could really, really put him in a good position. Scores are still so close. There's about 400 or 300 points between them. It is really nothing at this stage of the game. And here more archery ranges coming up from LeBlanc now. And he will want to get those Imperial Age blacksmith upgrades as well. Obviously, his light cavalry now getting cut down very quickly by these castles. If he can get +4 defense, that will give them a lot more durability inside of Hasan's eco. And this is nice. Finally, LeBlanc able to get up a castle on this eco section at the back here. This is going to be really good for him. If he can get this castle up and defend his eco back here, the raiding from Hasan is going to be cut down so effectively. Really nice though, still managing to raid where he can, but that +4 defense on these light cavalry going to be really crucial for LeBlanc. I'm just a bit concerned because Hasan does have quite a few trebs at the moment, though he is throwing them away. It looks like he's throwing them away. I don't know why. It's not nice. LeBlanc putting up an outpost here to check what's going on. He could shut this down pretty quickly if he sees it. But again, more raiding coming in. Just raiding after raiding after raiding. Finally, Treb's almost down for Hasan again. LeBlanc managing just to get those Trebs down. Finally up to the Imperial Age. That Treb remains on 6 health. It's hardly anything, but this is just crazy. LeBlanc managing to get up to the Imperial Age now. We'll see what upgrades are coming in just a moment. Looking at his blacksmith, nothing just yet, though he does have quite a bit of gold. Halberdier is on 40%, that's really important. Light cavalry queued up like crazy in all of these stables here. I'm just so impressed that LeBlanc managed to get to Imperial there. Starting to raid the rest of Hasan's eco in the center with those pikes. But Hasan's cavalry archers here could be a real nuisance for him. He is investing quite heavily into Halbs, and Halbs will die very quickly to any cavalry archers that Hasan might produce. LeBlanc also must see this over on this right hand side. He's got very good map visibility at this stage. This castle able to tell that there is raiding coming in. This outpost able to see what's going on over here as well. And I just find it crazy. They're at 160 population still, pretty much a piece. And the gold on this map is really starting to run low now. Hasan, considering he's had the majority of the gold for the majority of this game, I'm very surprised that he is not really taking full advantage of this. Hussar completed for LeBlanc now. And it's like Hasan's just completely forgot his upgrades. He's still on pike, I believe, if he's even making them. He's still on light cavalry. But he's invested mostly in just building gold units. But the upgrades, now in favour of LeBlanc, he has got that +4 defense. And he could do a lot of damage here on the front. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't actually have a trebuchet at the moment. And Hasan has got a pretty big army in the very north of the map. But LeBlanc is doing a lot of damage to his eco. He's getting those hussars in. He's doing getting a lot of villager kills. And I'm going to be very curious to see what Hasan does once this gold runs out. He needs to get those trash upgrades, because that is costing him quite a lot, I feel. Still raiding up in the north, doing a good job of killing villagers off there. And Hasan still has got that score lead. But I don't know, I mean, with all these upgraded trash units that LeBlanc has, and with so much food in the bank, he can keep those hussars coming out all day. And he can really do a lot of damage to Hasan's eco, what remains of it. Let's just check their villager count here. 127 villagers for Hasan, 108 for LeBlanc. I'm surprised. Hasan's village is literally all over the map, but raiding coming in over on the far east now. A lot of raiding coming in at the farmland here at the south as well. LeBlanc may just bring the villager count very close again. But military still very firmly in favour of LeBlanc here, as he just pumps out that trash as best he can. I'm surprised he's not gone for a treb yet. He could start to take down these TCs with a treb on this hill. That would be really good for him. But this raiding, really nicely done. The village account, we'll just keep an eye on it, because it will go down pretty quickly for Hasan here, as these hussars getting right into these woodlines, right into this farmland. Really nicely done indeed. Bringing it very level once again. They're not stopping. These guys are not stopping. A little bit of a waste over this side though. And interestingly enough, Hasan now starting to make some rams over at this siege workshop, but no upgrade on those rams at all. In fact, neither of them any real siege upgrades at all. Handcart. He only just got handcart. No wonder he's been like not that far ahead. Hasan's only just got hand card at 1 hour and 15 minutes in-game time. That's pretty mad. He should have got that a long time ago, and I believe LeBlanc probably had that a long time ago. So that's probably why he's been able to keep himself in it for so long. Much more efficient economy. Villager count now almost identical, 107 to 105, and LeBlanc continuing to raid with those not Halberdier, with the Hussars even. This game's absolutely nuts. I can't believe they're still managing to raid so effectively, but LeBlanc is really, really stepping it up now with this raiding. And his military is still further ahead. So LeBlanc here has got every potential at this stage to turn this around and win it. Hasan, as I said earlier, had every advantage really, up to a point, and he's even starting to take in the relics now, which I think is a great idea. It's about time that those relics got taken, as that little bit of extra gold will start to add up, and it will make quite a big difference as well as time goes on. We've got a little bit of lag here, and I'm not sure why that is. Could be to do with the spectator delay being like almost identical. And we're seeing a lot of skirms coming out for Hasan now, which is a reasonably good counter to any halberdier that might be made. But look at this, the villager count now for LeBlanc taking the lead, as Hasan loses quite a lot of villagers in his eco. He's not really replenishing them at all, and this is just nuts. Hasan coming forwards with this treb though. This castle may go down, and I still feel like LeBlanc missed a trick here. He really could have actually, you know, built a treb here and actually took down these TCs, allowed him to raid a bit more effectively. But in comes LeBlanc again. I think Hasan's last trebuchet going to get focused down. I think he's really struggling for gold at the moment. In fact, they both are. And the score's still in favour of Hasan, but the raiding from LeBlanc is really winning this around, turning this around. The lag is not the stream, it is the game, guys. I'm not sure why it suddenly started, as obviously the population isn't as high as it was before. It could be to do with the guys themselves, it could be to do with the spectator delay here. I think that's probably what's causing this. It's probably waiting a few seconds to sort of fix this spectator delay thing. I think that's what's the real issue is here. Let me see if I can slow playback just to slow things down slightly, and try and prevent this this little freezing issue that we're getting here. It's not very nice, is it? Well, I think this could be an issue with Vubli actually, but we'll see. I might make I'm going to make a post about this in AOC zone afterwards. I'll just put it in slow playback for a little minute and let the spectator delay increase the distance between it. I don't know if that's the issue or not. But as I was saying before, LeBlanc's raiding has been so good this entire game. He is really starting to get ahead now in villager count, and Hasan's unable to replenish by the looks of things. He's got a very nice mix of both halberdier, hussars, and skirmishers here as well, which is actually putting him in a really good spot. Shame about the stream lag. I will check if any frames were dropped here. Yeah, but it's just crazy. The scores are still so close. LeBlanc is slightly further behind, but neither of them are going to give this one up. Hasan is missing that Hussar upgrade though. That's a big deal. The Hussar upgrade is really important if you're going to be raiding, as it gives them a lot more longevity, it gives them a lot more attack, it gives them everything they need to be a more successful raider, I suppose. And LeBlanc going to get right in here once again and hit this eco from Hasan as best he can. Hasan's still up in the north though, doing more damage. And I'm hoping that this sort of spec delay thing, I don't know, there's a little bit of a pause here, so I don't know if that was perhaps why it started to lag a bit. We have got a little bit of a pause now. I don't know how long this pause is going to be. They unpaused it, so perhaps the players have a little bit of lag as well here. I'm unsure. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I want to have a little vote. Who thinks that Hasan will win, and who thinks that LeBlanc will win? In fact, let's do a little Moobot vote here. Let's just do moobot.tv/ZeroEmpires. I'll put a vote up in the chat to see who you think is going to win. In fact, we should probably do this before every game. That would be a lot of fun. Connect. They've got a little pause. I don't know if either of them dropped, so I'm just going to tab out and check that. Nope, they are still both in. So let's just give it a moment. And hopefully they unpause. I don't know if anyone dropped or not, so we'll see in just a moment's time, I guess. Let me tab out again, make sure they're still in the game room. Seems like they are. I don't know if they have paused or not then. So anyway, let's have a little vote. Who you think is going to win? Let's open it. Moobot can do that for us. And you have to reset your votes here. You can't vote for yourself if you're not playing. I'm just going to message Hasan here. To see if they... Oh, wait, they unpaused. Excellent. So there we go. LeBlanc's still going to keep raiding. And I think they may have paused because there was a bit of lag or something. It seems like it's reset the spec delay, which is nice, so we're not going to lag anymore. But look at this raiding from LeBlanc. It's really nice. He's getting a lot of villager picks back here. But Hasan is also raiding like mad as well, where he can. He's got scouts being created on this right-hand side, which is huge for him. But let's just check their villager count. Hasan down to 87, LeBlanc on 100 at this stage, so he has lost a few, but he's still continuing to be in this game. Hasan's villager count is dropping though. He really needs to keep creating them. If we have a look through his TCs, his villager production is still going on just to replenish. And I honestly, at this stage, I don't know how they do it. I just don't know how they do it, because if this was me right now, I'd probably be making about 3 clicks a minute, because I'd be overwhelmed. There'd just be too much to handle. And man, Hasan, is he going to make a push back here? The thing is, he's only got light cavalry, as I said earlier. He really should have Hussar at this stage. And even though he's had all of this gold in the center, he's still really been unable to do that much damage to LeBlanc, I feel. Let's just sort this out. What's going on? There we go, put on 51. It's a bit weird. I don't know what's going on with the spec delay thing. I need to ask some questions, because it does seem a little bit fast sometimes, then it seems slow. I don't know. LeBlanc building up a huge army back here. I think he might be looking for the kill. Hasan's still with the score lead, but there's only 400 points between them, if that. And let's have a quick look now. Yeah, 23 military units for Hasan, 81 for LeBlanc. I think LeBlanc is saving up his units here to make the final killer blow. Let's have a quick look at this Siege Workshop. He is doing Capt Ram now. Siege Ram is on 25%, and this is going to really turn things around, I think. He's still raiding like crazy back here, but I honestly think these Cap Rams, this Siege Ram upgrade, it could really help to turn things around. LeBlanc on 190 population, Hasan on just 100. And he's going to go for that, he's going to go for that castle. And I tell you what, Hasan's been so lame this game. You know, I'm very impressed by Hasan's TC placement down here. That was just awesome. I'm impressed by both of their ratings, to be honest with you, but the Siege Rams now coming in, this is going to lay absolute waste to these castles, and Hasan down to 80 population whilst LeBlanc sits on 170. He's got no food left, he's got no wood, all of his villagers inside of TCs by looks of things as LeBlanc continues to just raid, and there's the GG from Hasan. LeBlanc takes it, and man, what a game that was. I mean, that was a great comeback, as this guy in the chat says, Animal. It was a great comeback. LeBlanc was in the Castle Age for so long. He didn't have any gold almost the entire game. He had one of the worst starting positions I've seen in a long time, and he still managed to just hang in there, and he kept the pressure on, and he kept the raiding up for just long enough. And Hasan, he just couldn't stand up to it. I feel ultimately he just couldn't replenish his villagers fast enough, and I think if he'd have upgraded maybe light cavalry to hussar, then maybe he might have done a little bit better there. But he invested them all in gold units, and he did a lot of damage with them, but he couldn't sustain the production of them, which was probably the biggest issue for him. But very, very good game indeed. This one is definitely going on the channel. But thanks for watching, everyone. We're going to come out now and see if we can find another one.